My next guest said that our worst fears are being realized. Local authorities are currently taking the lead in this investigation with help from the federal investigators and the FBI. As we said, Florida Senator Bill Nelson joins me now. Senator, thank you very much. We know that you and everybody in Florida and really across the nation is just reeling tonight. And we still don't know the details about who has been lost, and those families are just processing that. Your thoughts, and do you have any new information about what happened today?
Some new information. The gunman was wearing a gas mask. He had smoke grenades. He hit the fire alarm so that all the kids would start coming out of the classrooms. And then there he had a mass of people in a closed space. So you can see how premeditated it was. And then with an AR-15, high caliber, rapid fire weapon, tragically there are 17 sets of parents that are just grieving very, very terribly right now.
So he had a gas mask on, and he threw smoke bombs into the hallway? Is that what you're hearing?
I cannot confirm that he actually threw them, but that is the implication with the information that I got from the FBI.
So in terms of what's going to happen now, do you have any information on whether they're already questioning him? I'm sure. Do we know whether or not he's being forthcoming? Any information on that?
Well, they took him into custody, and I certainly assumed that they would be talking to him. He's of legal age. He's over 18. And certainly if I were in that situation, I'd be interrogating him.
So a 19-year-old who commits mass murder in the state of Florida, what is he facing?
Well, you'll have to ask criminal attorneys, but he's of age, so he ought to be looking at the worst penalty, which is the death penalty.
Yeah, there's death penalty in the state of Florida, and as you point out, he's an adult, and it's highly possible that he could face that. Is there, I would imagine that there are some conditions that attorneys would try to convince that he is not mentally stable, something along those lines. Maybe the defense that we see is too early to say. In terms of what's happening right now in Florida, and outreach and possible discussion of change in terms of how we handle these situations or prevent them, any thoughts on that tonight, Senator?
Well, mental health clearly is one, and another is how many times is this going to go on until the American people say enough is enough? Just in Florida, a year ago, the mass shooting at the Fort Lauderdale airport in the same county where this shooting took place. 2 years ago, 49 people gunned down in the Pulse nightclub in Orlando. That's just in our state. And at some point, people are going to say enough is enough. Now, you're talking to somebody who supports the Second Amendment. I grew up on a ranch. I've always had guns. I am a hunter. I hunt today with my son. Yeah. But an AR-15 is not for hunting. That's for killing. And so we've got to go through these things, but it's very hard to pass this. Let me give you an example. As common sense a proposal as Senator Feinstein's bill that we tried a few years ago, that if you're on the terrorist watch list, you couldn't buy a gun. We couldn't get that passed. So you see the political difficulty.
I do, and America does, and I think you're right. I think we got to talk about this, and it's cold comfort to those families tonight, but it's a conversation that needs to be on the table. Senator, thank you very much. It's very good to have you with us, and again, our thoughts and prayers are with everybody in your state as they deal with this tragedy tonight. Thank you very much, Senator.
Thank you.